stop scrolling. Do not even think about swiping past this video, clicking away, or moving on to the next thing on your feed, because the energy crashing through my space right now is absolutely deafening. I literally had to pause, take a deep breath, and ground myself before hitting record because the sheer intensity of what is coming through was almost physically overwhelming. There is someone out there, someone very specific who is heavily on your mind, who is currently fighting the hardest mental and emotional battle of their life. They are literally struggling. I mean, they are physically, emotionally, and spiritually wrestling with themselves to stay away from you. And the universe is stepping in today to tell you that they are failing miserably. They are losing the battle against their own heart. There is a very distinct elephant in the room here, a specific dynamic that has defined this entire situation, and that is an age difference. Whether you are the older one possessing this radiant, intimidating wisdom, or they are the older one carrying a lifetime of experiences, this age gap has become the central blockade in their mind. This person has fallen for you so deeply, so completely, and so unexpectedly that it has short-circuited their entire reality. They do not know what to do with themselves anymore. They honestly thought they were in control. They thought they could just walk away unharmed. They convinced themselves they could pull the disappearing act, ghost you, retreat into the shadows, and keep things strictly casual. They put on a mask of indifference, hoping that if they acted like they didn't care, the feelings would just evaporate into thin air. But let me tell you, the divine realm is laughing at their futile attempts because they are absolutely, unequivocally failing at staying away from you. If you have been sitting in the agonizing silence of no contact, staring at a blank screen, wondering if the time you shared meant anything at all, and there is an age gap involved in this dynamic, you need to anchor yourself and listen to every single word coming through this reading today. The silence is not what it seems. The distance is an illusion. This person is standing on the precipice of a massive internal breakthrough, and they are about to make a move that is going to completely shock your system. Welcome to your safe space, your spiritual sanctuary. I am so deeply grateful that the universe guided you here to me today. We are diving into a profoundly complex, heavy, and beautiful energy today. It is entirely focused on someone who has developed genuine, terrifyingly real feelings for you, entirely despite the fact that society, logic, and their own stubborn mind tell them the age difference between you two is an impossible hurdle. Before we plunge into these depths, I need you to remember how this works. This is a general, collective energy reading. It is a massive, energetic net cast out into the universe. Please, guard your heart and only take what truly resonates deeply with your specific situation. If a detail feels off, let it float away like a leaf on a river. Take only the golden truths that spark a flame in your soul. The absolute magic of this synchronicity is that the universe ensures the right ears hear the right words at the exact right moment. So trust your beautiful intuition as we navigate these turbulent waters together. Take a slow, grounding breath with me. Inhale the present moment. Exhale the doubt. And let us see exactly what Spirit needs to urgently reveal to you today about this person who is hopelessly addicted to your energy and simply cannot let you go. Right out of the gate, the energy is undeniable. As I shuffle, a card practically leaps out, demanding to be seen. And wow, the Two of Cups. This is not a drill. This is not a fleeting crush or a superficial infatuation. The Two of Cups is the universe's ultimate signature of a profound, undeniable, and deeply emotional soul connection. This card looks me dead in the eye and tells me that what happened between the two of you was not an accident. It was not a random collision of passing ships in the night. It was a destined encounter. When I look at this energy, I see two souls standing completely exposed, face to face, holding their emotional cups out to one another in total recognition. There is this overwhelming energy of mutual understanding, a psychic mirroring where you looked at them, they looked at you, and the rest of the world just dissolved into background noise. But here is where the plot thickens, where the reality of your situation comes crashing in. The Two of Cups is whispering to me that this person recognized the divine spark in you from the very first hello. They felt that inexplicable magnetic pull of gravity that defies logic, physical appearance, or surface-level compatibility. This is the energy of two ancient souls recognizing each other in brand new bodies. And oh my goodness, that terrified them. It terrified them because they were absolutely not expecting to feel this way, especially when they factored in the age difference between you two. We live in a world bound by rigid structures. Society loves its rules. It loves its neat little boxes. It dictates who we should love, what age brackets are deemed acceptable, what the neighbors will whisper about, and what family members will judge. Your person was hyper-aware of these invisible chains. They were constantly looking over their shoulder, listening to the phantom judgments of a society that doesn't understand the depth of your bond. But the Two of Cups does not care about societal constructs. It laughs at birth certificates. This energy is about raw, authentic, unadulterated spiritual connection. That profound bond formed between you two, taking root deep in their heart, regardless of whether their logical mind wanted it to or not. It bypassed their defenses completely. Let me dig deeper. Because if the connection is this profoundly beautiful, we have to uncover why they ran. Why the silence? Why the sudden cold shoulder? As I pull the next energy, it hits heavy. The Eight of Swords. And suddenly, everything makes terrifying sense. Oh wow. The pain radiating from this energy is palpable. This card is vividly showing me that your person has been living in an absolute suffocating mental prison of their own making. Imagine standing in an open field, completely free to walk away, but you have a blindfold tightly wrapped around your eyes and you are surrounded by swords stuck in the ground. You are paralyzed by the fear of moving, terrified that if you take a single step you will be cut. But the tragedy is, the bindings are loose. The swords aren't even touching them. They could literally walk toward you at any second, but they cannot see that. Their mind has completely betrayed them. This distance, it is entirely mental. Your person has built an impenetrable fortress of anxieties, excuses, and worst-case scenarios about why this relationship is doomed to fail. They have allowed their thoughts to become a relentless echo chamber. They have convinced themselves that the age gap is a mountain that cannot be scaled. They are obsessing over the idea that people will point fingers, that they will be judged, that their intentions will be misunderstood, or that the difference in your life stages, the places you are at in your respective journeys, makes the situation inherently impossible. They have let these toxic, limiting beliefs consume them entirely. The Eight of Swords is screaming that your person is drowning in analysis paralysis. They are not out there living their best life without you. No. They are thinking about you constantly, obsessively. They replay every single conversation you ever had. They dissect the tone of your voice. They remember the exact way you looked at them, the electricity of the moments you shared, but the second their heart swells with that beautiful memory, their anxious mind slams on the brakes and violently steers them back into fear, listing out 100 logical, socially conditioned reasons why they must stay away. They're literally trapped in a war zone between a heart that is screaming at them to risk it all for you and a head that is demanding they play it safe and conform to expectations. And let me be incredibly clear with you, this internal war has been sheer torture for them. This is not the energy of someone who found it easy to walk away. This is not someone who casually swiped you away like a forgotten notification and happily moved on with their life. This is someone who wakes up thinking about you, goes to sleep thinking about you, and feels a hollow ache in their chest every single day because they are fighting their own nature. Now I can feel the anxiety bubbling up in the collective. I know exactly what some of you are asking the screen right now. You are wondering, is there someone else? Did they pull away because there is a third party? Did they go back to an ex or find someone their own age? I promised you total honesty, and I am going to give it to you unfiltered. Let's see what the shadows are hiding. I'm pulling the next energy, and we have the Seven of Cups. This is so incredibly revealing. The Seven of Cups is the master of illusions, options, smoke and mirrors, and desperate distractions. It shows a figure staring at multiple cups floating in the clouds, filled with various treasures and curses. Yes, your person has been desperately trying to entertain other options. For some of you, yes, there might have been another person they started talking to, or a dating app they re-downloaded in a moment of panic. They actively tried to force themselves to look elsewhere. But hear me clearly, none of it is working. None of these so-called options feel even remotely right. The Seven of Cups appears when someone is desperately wandering through a spiritual desert, trying to drink from every mirage they see. They are standing in a candy store with a pocket full of money, looking at all the safe, socially acceptable options, but absolutely nothing satisfies the hunger in their soul. Your person has been furiously trying to distract themselves from the gravity of you. They threw themselves into their career, working late hours just to exhaust their mind so they wouldn't have to think about you in the quiet of the night. They tried to surround themselves with friends, noise, and chaos. They actively, intentionally tried to convince themselves that someone closer to their age, someone who fits perfectly into the neat little box society expects of them, would be an easier, better fit. They tried to choose the path of least resistance. But wow, the universe has a brilliant sense of humor, because it is showing me that every single time they go on a date with someone else, every time they try to force a connection with an appropriate option, their mind violently snaps right back to you. They sit across from someone else, and all they can think is, they are you. The conversation is dull. The energy is flat. The spark is completely dead. It is like they are wandering a desert trying to drink from empty, cracked cups. But nothing can quench their profound thirst because the only chalice they actually crave is the one that holds your energy. Furthermore, the Seven of Cups is heavily tied to deep, immersive fantasy and daydreaming. Oh my goodness, the scenarios this person has painted in their mind about you are intensely vivid. When they are alone, when the distractions fade, they retreat into a fantasy world where the age difference simply ceases to exist. They imagine a reality where you two could just hold hands in public without a care in the world, where they could introduce you to their family without bracing for impact, where they could completely surrender to the overwhelming love they feel for you without a single drop of fear. They have mentally played out an entire beautiful lifetime with you. They have imagined waking up next to you, traveling with you, building a sanctuary with you. And then, the alarm clock rings. They snap back to harsh reality. The Eight of Swords blindfold goes back on, and all that beautiful potential is crushed under the weight of their own cowardice. Let me check where this is actually heading, because this suppressed energy cannot stay bottled up forever. A pressure cooker will eventually explode, and I feel a massive tectonic shift coming in their emotional state. What is their next move? Okay, the energy is shifting rapidly. Here comes the Knight of Cups. This gives me absolute chills, and honestly, it makes me a little emotional. The Knight of Cups is the quintessential romantic dreamer of the tarot. He is the poet, the lover, the one who brings the cup of love forward. This knight is not about logic. He is entirely driven by the deep, resonant truth of the heart. He is about making sweeping romantic gestures, breaking down walls, and finally expressing the hidden depths of the soul. This specific energy is showing me that your person has finally reached their breaking point. They are currently transitioning out of that miserable, stagnant, fear-based Eight of Swords energy, and they are actively stepping into forward motion. The Knight of Cups does not just sit in a dark room agonizing over love. This knight mounts his horse and rides toward what he wants. I am clearly seeing that your person has been quietly, desperately building up the courage to bridge the gap. They are practically vibrating with the need to reach out to you. They have been writing and rewriting texts in their notes app. They have been rehearsing monologues in the shower, trying to find the exact perfect words to explain the unexplainable. They are obsessing over how to possibly approach you after leaving you in the dark, after the brutal ghosting, after the cowardly pull away. And the Knight of Cups guarantees me one thing. When this message or this contact finally arrives, it is not going to be shallow. It is going to be incredibly emotional, profoundly vulnerable, and stripped of all ego. Do not expect a lazy midnight, "Hey, what's up?" text. When your person finally breaches the silence, they are going to demand a real, soul-bearing conversation. They are going to want to sit down and address the massive elephant in the room. They are going to explain exactly why they vanished, why they were so cold, and why they have been so painfully distant. For a significant portion of you watching this, you are going to receive a full-blown, raw confession of deeply held feelings. Your person is going to drop their armor and admit that they have been drowning without you. They will confess that they tried with every fiber of their being to stay away, that they tried to use logic to kill the connection, that they tried to let the age gap be the excuse that saved them from vulnerability. But they simply cannot do it anymore. The magnetic pull is too fierce. The connection is too undeniably real. They are finally reaching the beautiful realization that the agonizing pain of living a life without you is infinitely worse than any fleeting judgment, whisper, or stare they might face from the outside world. But right now, I need to pause the romantic narrative and be brutally, unapologetically honest with you. The universe is showing me the breathtaking potential of this love, but it is also reflecting the stark, painful reality of what you have actually been enduring. Let's not sugarcoat this. This person has dragged you through an emotional war zone, haven't they? They have put you on a terrifying, exhausting roller coaster. They have been the definition of hot and cold. One moment, they pulled you in so close you could feel their heartbeat, making you feel like the center of their universe. And the next moment, they shoved you away into the freezing cold, leaving you questioning your own sanity. And let me validate you right now, that is completely unfair to you. It does not matter how much they were struggling internally. It does not matter how scared they were of the age gap, the casualness they infected this connection with, the agonizing feeling of not being a priority, of being a dirty little secret, of never knowing where you truly stand, has left deep wounds. It has been excruciatingly painful for you. I need you to hear this loud and clear. Your feelings of frustration, anger, and betrayal are completely, 100% valid. You are a divine being and you deserve absolute clarity. You deserve rock-solid consistency. You deserve a partner who will not treat you like a part-time option, while they cowardly take their sweet time figuring out their own insecurities. Let me pull one final, overarching energy to see the ultimate trajectory of this destined collision, and to see exactly what spirit needs you to grasp moving forward. The final energy, oh my goodness, it is the Lovers. The major arcana steps in to seal this reading, and it is the most significant validation you could possibly receive. The Lovers is, on the surface, the ultimate symbol of romantic union, profound partnership, and soulmate connection. But we need to look deeper, because it is about so much more than just a happy ending. The Lovers is the card of divine alignment, of two halves making a whole, of coming together in total harmony despite the most impossible worldly obstacles. The traditional ancient imagery of this card depicts two naked, vulnerable souls being overseen and blessed by an angelic, divine figure. This is the universe explicitly validating that what exists between you and this person is not just a crush. It is a spiritually orchestrated, divinely protected bond that defies the petty logic of society. It confirms that this connection is real, it is heavy, and it is meant to be acknowledged. But here is the crucial, inescapable catch. The Lovers is fundamentally a card of choice. With a capital C, your person is rapidly approaching a divine ultimatum. They are going to have to make a definitive choice to step entirely into the light with this connection. They must choose to stop letting the phantoms of fear dictate their reality. They must choose to drop the exhausting excuses about age, generational differences, and societal expectations. They have to decide to be brave, and more importantly, you are going to have to make a choice too. You are going to have to look deep within your own soul and decide if you are truly willing to open your heart again to someone who has struggled this profoundly to simply claim you. You must decide if you can forgive the uncertainty, the sleepless nights, and the unsettled energy they forced upon you. The Lovers card promises that a massive intersection is rapidly approaching for both of you. Your person is going to come forward. They are going to lay their heart bare, offer their emotional cup, and beg for the chance to move forward together in the light. But the power? The power rests entirely in your hands. You get to decree whether this is what you actually want. You get to decide if you are willing to offer grace and give this another shot, or if your standards now demand someone who was absolutely, unconditionally sure about you from the very first second. And let me free you from guilt right now. There is no wrong answer here. Sometimes the most incredibly loving, fiercely protective thing we can do for our own soul is to walk away from someone who could not stand up for us when we needed them most, even if their reasons were rooted in deep fear. Other times, the highest expression of love is to offer radical grace, to understand their human frailty, and to allow them the space to step up and become the partner they are finally ready to be. Only you, in the quiet sanctuary of your own intuition, know what is truly right for your heart. What is glaringly obvious in this energy is that their feelings for you have not faded by a single fraction of a percent during this agonizing time apart. If anything, the distance has been the ultimate catalyst. Absence truly did make their heart grow incredibly desperate. They realized exactly what a rare, irreplaceable treasure they threw away when they let their fear win. They tried to use cold, hard logic to dismantle their love for you, and the logic failed. They tried to drown your memory in a sea of other faces, and the memory only grew sharper. They tried to build an insurmountable wall out of the age difference, and their souls simply phased right through it. Every single dark, twisty road they have run down has led them directly back to your doorstep. They are finally ready to surrender. The struggle to stay away has broken them, and they have lost the battle. Now, they just need to execute the action. The Knight of Cups is demanding of them. Let's talk specifically about this age difference one last time, because it is the linchpin of this entire dramatic saga. Society is incredibly loud and aggressively opinionated when it comes to age gap relationships. People can be ruthlessly judgmental, tossing around labels and assumptions without knowing a single thing about the actual connection. Regardless of the fact that you are two consenting, autonomous adults whose souls have deeply intertwined, your person let the noise of the world drown out the truth of their heart. They have been agonizing over the hypothetical gossip of their co-workers, the raised eyebrows of their friends, the interrogations from their family. If they are older, they panicked over being perceived as predatory, inappropriate, or having a midlife crisis. If you are older, they worried about people whispering that they have mommy or daddy issues, or that they are using you for status or stability. These vile external projections weighed on them like a ton of bricks, eventually crushing their resolve and causing them to flee. But here is the golden, liberating truth that spirit is screaming at you right now. Other people's opinions do not pay rent in your relationship. The peanut gallery does not belong in your sacred space. The only two beating hearts that need to find peace and joy in this connection are yours and theirs. Everyone else is just a spectator looking through a dirty window, entirely ignorant of the profound spiritual depths you share. They don't hear the conversations you have at 2 a.m. They don't feel the electric current that passes between you when your hands touch. They don't understand the way your souls instantly recognized each other. When two souls vibrate at the exact same frequency, physical age is nothing more than a meaningless number on a piece of paper. And that is exactly the miracle that has occurred here. Your person is finally waking up to the realization that they would infinitely rather face the fleeting judgment of 100 strangers and be blissfully happy in your arms than conform to society's sterile expectations and live the rest of their life rotting in misery without you. That is a monumental paradigm shift. That is why the energy is pivoting violently from desperate avoidance to inevitable approach. They are locating their spine. They are prioritizing their authentic joy over public approval, and they are gearing up to step into your life in a way that will demand respect. However, I must deliver a final, empowering mandate from the universe. Many of you have been trapped in a painful holding pattern. You have put your precious, limited time on Earth on pause, waiting like a loyal sentry for this person to finally conquer their demons. You have delayed your own joy while they tried to find their bravery. Spirit is stepping in to loudly proclaim that waiting indefinitely is a disservice to your soul. You must aggressively reclaim your life. You have to keep moving forward. You must remain radically open to your own evolution, your own vibrant happiness, and your own infinite opportunities. If this person finally returns, presents their heart, and you happen to still be available and open to it, that is a beautiful choice. But if you have healed, leveled up, and moved on, or if you simply refuse to entertain the uncertainty anymore, that is equally stunningly beautiful. You are under zero obligation to put your life in a display case, waiting for someone else's delayed spiritual breakthrough. You are not required to be a perpetual martyr of patience while they unpack their baggage. Your vibrant, beautiful life is happening right this very second, and you absolutely deserve to experience secure, unconditional, unwavering love right now, not on someone else's delayed, fear-based timeline. The profound beauty of this reading is that it validates both realities simultaneously. It exposes the absolute truth of their burning love for you, their torturous struggle to stay away, and their inevitable return. But it also places the crown firmly back on your head. Yes, they have fallen endlessly for you despite the years between you. Yes, they are agonizing over the distance. Yes, they are coming to confess it all. But you are the author of the next chapter. You are not a passive character waiting to be rescued. You hold the ultimate agency. When they inevitably break the silence, do not just listen to their poetic apologies. Watch their feet. Watch their actions. Are they finally ready to hold your hand in the daylight, entirely unbothered by who is watching? Are they eager to integrate you into their real life, introducing you to the people who matter? Or are they still trying to hide you in the shadows to protect their own ego? Are they actively building a tangible future with you? Or are they just dumping their emotional baggage at your door without demonstrating genuine, changed behavior? You need absolute consistency. You need undeniable follow-through. You need a warrior who will stand shoulder to shoulder with you against the world's judgment, not someone who runs for the hills the moment things get complicated. And the most comforting truth of all, you will not have to guess. When the moment arrives, your intuition will ring like a crystal bell. You will feel it deep in your bones, whether they have truly transformed or if they are still operating from a place of cowardly hesitation. Trust that brilliant inner compass. Trust that you are inherently worthy of a love that never makes you feel like a secret, a burden, or an option. The soul meant for you will make you feel fiercely chosen, wildly celebrated, and deeply secure, utterly obliterating any societal noise about your age difference. Disclaimer: this video is a general collective reading intended for spiritual entertainment and guidance purposes only. Energy is fluid, and not every message will resonate with every viewer. Please use your own personal judgment and intuition when applying any insights to your life. This reading does not replace professional psychological, legal, or medical advice. If this message cracked your heart open today and gave you the validation you've been desperately seeking, please take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to the family. Every time you engage, you help the universe push this exact message to another beautiful soul who might be sitting in the dark, crying over the exact same situation. Let's send a massive wave of healing energy across the collective today. Remember, sweet soul, you are inherently worthy of a love that is loud, proud, and absolute. Never settle for the shadows. I am sending you endless love, deep clarity, and brilliant light until our energies cross again. Take beautiful care of yourself.